welcome to the official release of the auto quota Excel sheet that I've created. So what I'm going to cover here is the basic use and what this Excel sheet does. So a lot of customers and actually a lot of people on the internet during the peak of the lockdown were requesting for a quick template. So I decided I'll make one, and I did, and it just kept adding onto it, just little improvement here, there, and it just sort of started getting out of hand, and it actually became really, really powerful. So I've decided it's about time we released it officially on the website, and any more improvements that I do will be updated on the website completely free of charge. So let's dive right into it. When you open it up, this is the first screen that you're going to see. Just disclaimer, a bit of details. Obviously you're going to know where you got it from, but if anything, if you ever forget or whatnot, you got a bit of rules here. There is a password protection. This is the only way for me to stop anyone accidentally breaking any of the formulas. That being said, I believe in the next release I'm going to loosen it off a little bit, because I'm nearly at the stage where I can have infinite amount of cabinet variations. So let's dive right into this. So at the bottom you're going to see the different sheets. So we got lazy calculator, we got main, analytics, cutting list, price calculator, cabinet 1 through 10 for the time being. So let's go into lazy calculator. So in lazy calculator, you've got all of these settings that you can change. So the cabinet thickness is usually 16mm for the carcass. If you have any, let's say you're doing caravans and you've usually got the 14-15mm stuff, or you've got thicker carcass for whatever reason that happens to be 18mm, you can change it from here. This does affect the overall dimensions of the cabinet, as they are all taken into consideration. After this, we got the door thickness. So with this, a lot of customers have started using 16mm. I just want to give you guys a heads up. Be careful with your hinge hole drilling, because when you go 14mm deep on 16mm, you end up having only 2mm thickness of the material, and the MDF is very soft, and there's no hinge hole kits standard on the bottom of the machines, or the opposite end of where your hinge hole kit is, and you're going to start digging in. I've had this happen twice already, so just be aware of it. Bottom line, keep the door thickness, your material, ideally 18mm. Unless, of course, you don't have a CNC and you're doing your drilling afterwards, then it's no problem whatsoever. So let's move on to the measurements. So over here, I've given several of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think it's 4. Yep, perfect. 4. So let's say you're at a customer. You've taken, you've done some overheads. You've measured it up. You've noticed it's almost 2 meters worth of overheads. And what you're going to see here is it accumulates. So here we got space left, 2 meters, 2000mm. If you have them all added up, they all add up. So it's going to come up with red. It's going to tell you. So you just have to be careful. If this is red, it's no good. You've missed something, or you're going to have a gap somewhere. Perfect. So from here, we have a look what we have. So we got extra cabinets you can fit. So in this space, I can fit from cabinet number 1, I can fit 2.5 of them. So if I go, let's say I know I need to fit 2 of them minimum. I go enter, and it recalculates and tells you, yes, you have 400mm left, and there you can fit these cabinets. So I can fit cabinet 8 twice, or I can fit cabinet 4 once, and I can actually fit cabinet 3 once, but I'm going to have leftover, and the leftover is going to be 100mm. And this way, assuming you know which cabinets the customer wants, you can play around with this. It pulls the width from the main. We're going to get to this in a second. So with the future updates that I'm thinking of, just to make your life a bit easier, you can have up to technically infinite amount of cabinets. So in this case, you can make yourself up 5 of the same cabinet but different widths, so you don't have to play around too much. Very good. So from here, we've got 100mm left. So for the sake of the exercise, let's put this back to 0. and we're going to put just 2 of these. Perfect. See, it comes out all green, very good. We're ready to go on to the next step. So the next step is very easy, copy paste, Control C, go to main, go Control V. You're going to notice it ruins it. From here we'll just go copy, and I believe it's values, just the values, perfect. And this way, so you'll notice I can't click on, I've locked bits that you should not be touching. Alright, perfect. So from here you'll notice the 2 base cabinets, 2 of the blank templates. Total cabinet material is 9 meters squared. Total door material is 1.7. The amount of edge tape, the amount of door edge tape. Number of hinges, number of handles. This is all up here. From here we have selection of the material with different pricing. So you can have, I've done it so you can have up to 20 for the time being. I may increase it. I'll have a look at it. I've started noticing there's a massive performance hit if you start playing around with infinite amount of choices. So if I have 1,000 different, let's say, materials, which in reality you want, you're just starting to slow down the Excel spreadsheet depending on your computer. Perfect. So cabinet edge tape here, we got white stipple, door edge tape, for the sake of the exercise, overinflated edge tape. We've got the hinges. All of these are coming from the price calculator. Price calculator, I can change this to whatever I want. So you can see here, cabinet material, I've got 20 of them. Door material, I've got 20 of them. So from here I can go, one of the customers, one of the guys supplied these numbers. This is just random numbers at this point. So you can change the name. So my material 3, for example. From here I can put it on $23 per meter squared. So if I go back to main and I go back to cabinet material, click that drop down, my material 3, it's automatic. It's like very, very easy once you set it up. That's the idea. So back to price calculator, we got the hinges, we got the handles. You can see I've been doing a lot of copy paste. So the handle type, the handles, I'm just gonna put down, fix up the typo. Fantastic. They are different. So if we go back to here just to test it, just to reset it, handle type. See how it goes not applicable because it's changed. Boom. There we go. Go to price calculator. Perfect. So here we got the different edge tapes, and then we got the door edge tape and the costs. So this may not be locked. Oh, it is locked. Perfect. Back to it. So I'm not able to change this because this is a calculation. Anything with this color is a calculation. Anything with this color is an input. I can put it in. Anything that can do names, I've allowed it to be typed up because obviously you want to have your own names. Fantastic. So go back to main. We'll just have a quick squeeze at the top, at the 10 different cabinets. So here I have number of cabinets. So if you're not using the lazy calculator, you just want to throw up something really quick, you can change it. So let's say I want 6 different base cabinets, whatever cabinet number 2 is. Number 3, and we'll come to this one last. This is a special calculation that I've used just the base template to create drawers that automatically are calculated based upon how many doors you want. So if I go, I want 3 doors, you're going to have 3 different drawers. So with this one, I just want to show you how to do no doors. So let's go no door base cabinet. So this is my cabinet number 2, is my no doors. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to squeeze over to the side. You see here we've got shelves, how many shelves I want to have. For this one I'll have it 1, normally it's 1. Then I have the overall dimensions of the cabinet itself. So depth is 900mm, width is 500, height is 750. Perfect. So now we got the door overhang. With the door overhang parameter, for example in my house, the width is exactly the same as the cabinet, but my overhead cupboards have about 30mm overhang downwards. So this is the idea behind the door overhang parameter. Also, it's perfect for when you want to go no doors. So the easiest way to do it is select the cell. You go minus. We'll go width, which is the 500. We'll go from here. We'll go minus again the height. So now, if I change the width of the cabinet itself, it's going to scale with it. And this way I can remove any of the cabinet material. So I'll show you exactly what I mean. This to 0, this to 0, to 1. So I'm just going to remove this. And you see how you got material door 0.5 meters squared, and we want to remove this because we don't have any doors. Go minus the width minus the height. Very good. So now we've removed the material, but we still got the edge tape. So what we're going to do is we're just going to pop into the actual cabinet sheet. This is where all the fun stuff happens, and all the calculations are here. So when you have a look, you're just going to play in this black box right here. So in here we want to go 0 doors. This way it removes the color, 0 meters of carcass, 0 meters of color edge tape. Perfect, exactly what we want. In here, what you'll notice is I have hinges per door. So let's say if you're doing a very small cabinet, it's going to be pretty much minimum of 2. Really big cupboards, let's say 2.5 meters tall, you're going to want at least 3 or 4. From there on, we've got the amount of handles per door. From here, what I've done is number of components. So you've got sides, standard is 2, 1 back, 1 base. The shelf, you can't click on it. The shelf is connected to main, so any of the shelves or extra shelves, it goes just in here. There we've got rail. Depending on the cabinet design, they usually have a rail. It's about 80mm wide, and just the inside length of the cabinet. From here you'll see all the sides, and they've got calculations. So the way it works is it takes into consideration the material thickness of the door and the material thickness of the cabinet. So when you do the overall dimension, it really means from the wall that you've measured to the front of the cabinet, including the door. And after that, it's all scaled in there. So you can see here, I've left this open just so you can see it. Just gives you an idea. If you're testing or you made a slight mistake or whatever it is, you can have a look and you can see, okay, these are the sizes. There's something wrong. Let's start from the beginning. Very good. Now, this is the real fun bit. I've put in extra components. So with the extra components here, I can change, let's say, rail or, I don't know, support, whatever it could be. So with this, you can have custom amount of sizes. They're all connected only to the cabinet edge tape. So if I have 2 of these, it's going to add extra space. The edge tape is not calculated unless I link it. So let's talk about what I'm going to do. Is I'm just going to go to cabinet number 9, because cabinet number 9 is my drawer front one. Because I've already done it, it's going to make it be a lot easier, and this video will be a lot shorter. Very good. So what we have here is we have a cabinet with 3 drawers that you can pull out. So we have hinges per door 2, handles per door 1. From here we have, this cabinet has 3 doors technically. What we're going to have here, we have sides. Now it depends on how you make your cabinets. let's say that some of them, for example, the ones in my house, they don't have sides. They just use the hinges. The hinges just happen to have sides. It's just a complete assembly. A lot of the other places, what they do is they have the really thin rail ones, and then they just have the actual cabinet, just carcass material. So what I've assumed is we're just going to have standard carcass box with a door pretty much slapped on the front of it. So we got the sides, we got the back and the front, we got the base, and part 4. Part 4 is nothing, we've just left it blank. So when we have a look here, let's go into sides. So with sides, if I select up at the top, you can see that I may not be able to click on these, but I can still link to them. And this is what we want. So, with the sides, what I've done is I've taken the left side reference, and I've taken the depth of it. So our depth for this cabinet that happens to be 200 mil deep is 182. Alright, so the left side, the backs are internal. So you put your screws out on the back of it, you put your side, then you butt up your back, and then from the side itself you drill in your screws to hold in your back. So for the sides, what we've done is this is the dimension that we have. Now I'm assuming, this is a complete assumption, that you have 20 mil space from the back. Obviously, because you can't, if you have it too long, it's going to crash into your back panel. So this is an assumption. 20 mil is probably not enough, because we still have to take into consideration the material thickness plus the gap. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a little improvement here. We're going to go C7 minus the material thickness, which would be C4. C4. Very good. I'm going to put this in brackets. And then I'm just going to go give it an extra 20 mil gap. So C4 is my door thickness. I don't want that. I want C3. Very good. You can see how it's scaled. So the depth is, that's for my sides. Very good. The width, this would be the width, how deep my draw is. I've just gone off standard 80 mil. I believe it's the standard. It could be less. Again, completely adjustable and up to you. From here we have the amount. What I'm going to do is I'll click here and it shows you. So it's got M26 is the doors. So I've got 3 doors by 2. Because I have 2 sides. I have a left and a right. Pretty standard. So then we got the back and the front. I'm treating it like the back. So it's going to be internal. So the length of it is going to be from left to right when you're looking at it. So when we just click on this, you can see it's taking into consideration the material thickness. It's taking into consideration the back width. So what I have here is I've given it a gap for the hinge itself. So 20 mil on the left, 20 mil on the right. And then I've taken into consideration the thickness of my material. That's technically my sides by 2. So what happens is you have your sides and then you put your back and the front butts up against it exactly the same way that the backs are calculated. And this is the inner dimension that you end up getting. Again, give it a check. I did do this very late at night. I may have missed something. This is not the final product. I will make several more improvements because this is becoming a very powerful tool and will make your life very easy. Very good. From here we'll go to width. Again, this is just going to be the depth. The numbers, again, we want back and front. So 2 of them by the amount of doors. After that we have the base. So the base ends up being the back and the front slotting in. And then the width. Why is the base 50? There you go. So there's already mistakes around. So this is going to need to be a lot bigger depth, that's for sure. There's the mistake, it's multiplying it by 6. And it's just chewing it out. This is not the correct size. So let's do it. So the base, we have the basically the depth of it. Oh no, actually the width of the cap. No, this is correct. This is correct because we have a very shallow depth. This is absolutely correct. So we got the length inwards minus the material thickness of it, and then see, there's the mistake. It's by 6. So this shouldn't be by 6 because I've linked it. It should be by 2. Yes, it should be by 2. This is the oversight that I missed because we only have 2 sides. We don't have. We only have 1 front, 1 back. We don't have 6. So this is what happens when you put improvements upon improvements and you sort of just miss bits. But anyway, we're all tested. There we go. This is much more sensible. Very good. And I'll show you in a moment how it all works again. So again, 1 base based upon 3 doors. Perfect. This is what we want. Extra edge tape. So with this, I decided it's if you were to do 1 by 1 and you have to think about it, it's too hard. We already have the blueprint. This is working out perfect. So we've taken all the lengths, just the sides, the back and the front, multiplied by the amount, and it comes up and it's added onto the top. So that's pretty much set. And this is how you can make. This is pretty much how you can add extra panels, sides, and you can still link it across. And it becomes very easy to maintain, to have a whole heap of different types of cabinets without having to play around too much. So once you set it up, that's it. So we come in, I'll show you what I was talking about before. So let's say I have 3 drawer fronts, I'll have 1 of them. Let's make the depth a bit more realistic. 800 might be a bit massive, maybe. 600mm deep. We'll come down to cabinet 9 again, and you can see this is a much nicer drawer. 500mm space on the inside. You've got the sides. Very good. Now this doesn't know how many drawers you can fit in certain sizes, so there are standards. Usually at 720 you end up getting 3 drawers. If you have something very custom, it would be probably worth just making a separate cabinet for it, and you know I can fit X amount, and you just fit them in there, and then you just change this size, this number here. So you have, let's say, 6 doors. So what's going to happen is you're going to make 6 drawers technically for this 1 cabinet, but you're only ever going to fit 3. So this is what I'm trying to get at. Very good. Come back to main. Let's move on to the estimated time. So we come down to analytics. This is something I've been playing around with the last couple of days. I've made a massive improvement. I've removed the cutting list, so just probably ignore this for the time being. Version 4 makes this obsolete, as I ran into a problem with the performance. I was able to create 1,000 cabinets, different cabinets, but the performance tanked. Anytime you had to change anything, it just took about a second every time you press anything. So I'll change, I want 2 cabinets of number 38, and that would just take a second, and that was just too slow for me. Perfect. So, into analytics. From here, what I've put some standard sizes. So we got routing speed, 20 meters a minute, time compensation per panel. So this is your operator taking it off, putting it off on the side, and so forth. Even loading up sheets. I've done it per panel, so the more panels you have, the more it adds on. It gives you time to complete task estimated 7 minutes for basically 2 cabinets just to cut it out. 7 cabinets with quite a bit of pieces with number of panels, 26 panels, 7 minutes. This here is a prototype. I've just left it in there just to think about. Obviously it's not going to be less than a sheet, as the problem with it is this doesn't do nesting, doesn't do the calculation for nesting, so it's not accounting for any wastage. So from here we got the edging. So machine speed, our ones run at 16 meters a minute, just no corner rounding. I've done a time compensation per panel. I've also added a rough distance between when you can put the next piece in, because if I don't have this, you're not going to be able to bang out 11 meters of edge tape across 26 panels in 3 minutes. This is just not going to happen because you're not running one continuous 11 meter panel. That's my point. So you have 26 panels, roughly 600 mil spaced out. Our smaller machines have a lot less gap, but this is, I believe this is the size on the 2 RTF. That's the really fast one. So it gives you about 7 minutes to edge the 26 panels. This is with the time compensation per panel. This, again, I've estimated it. Ideally what you want to do is you want to just run one job, have a look at how long each thing takes, adjust here, and then you're going to get a very accurate calculation of estimated time. From here we have the edging of doors. I was going to do first pass, second pass. So first pass you run at 16 meters a minute, second pass you run it at no more than 12 meters a minute, because you will be getting inconsistent corner rounding, and this is speaking from experience. Any more than 12 meters a minute and the corner rounding is just, 2 panels are never the same. Even on brand new machines out of the box, you'll be able to get, let's say, consistent corner rounding for the first 6 to 12 months, and after that it's just never gonna be the same. So the optimum speed for corner rounding is 12 meters a minute. Again, time compensation, distance between panels. So I'm just assuming that all the panels are getting corner rounded at a certain speed. This is because as well, some customers don't have corner rounding, and it wouldn't make much sense to be adding an extra calculation for it. I'll just come back to the cutting. This is only for carcass for the time being. I am still in the process of figuring out how to do doors, because they are a little bit more complicated and I'll need to be pulling it off from the cabinet blueprint sheets. In this variation, I don't have onion skin. In the version 4, I have a selection for onion skin. It's very rare for a cabinet maker to route with no onion skin, as you will be getting a longer life out of the tool and you will be getting a much cleaner finish, as well as there's going to be a hell of a lot less dust everywhere. Again, this is without onion skin. With the next version I have added it, so you can have selection yes and no, and I suppose that makes it a lot more accurate if you only have a panel saw to cut and you don't have a CNC. So then you can play around here with the settings, give you an accurate. So again, from the top, once you have all the cabinet sizes set up, you've got your overall meters squared. So let's say this is a massive job, 20 cabinets of this. All the blank templates are basically base cabinets, just standard base cabinets with a door, with a single door, 2 hinges and 1 handle. So let's say this has 20 base cabinets, 25 meters squared material cabinet, door will be 5, edge tape cabinet will be 46. I want to show you something real cool here. So with the door, if I tell it to go, let's say cabinet number 3, if I tell it to go, I need, let's say this cabinet has 2 doors, 2 door base cab. The material of the door doesn't increase, but the edge tape does. Go back to it, number 3, and you'll see it just up here. color 5. Oh, my mistake. Color 96 meters. Single door 48. 20 cabinets to be routed. So that I have taken into consideration the edge tape, which makes it very, very easy. No mistakes. Cool. So from here, you've got your materials that you will have to fill in yourself. The selection, material 3. So for example, well, doors are not free. Let's just go back to this one. I'll give you a breakdown. Cabinet, white carcass, $800 for the material. You got the door material, which is about $1,000. The edge tape. These are all random pricing I just put in. I don't know what the cost is. Everyone gets their own special price. This is just an example. So we got the hinges, handles. I've used Blum Soft Close because it's a popular name. If somebody forgets how to do it, they can have a look and they'll be like, okay, this is where I put my hinges because I know this name. From here we got estimated cutting time with no doors, which is just 194 minutes. Perfect. I hope this helps. I will continue improving this. Version number 4 is going to have the option for infinite amount of cabinets. It's already implemented. I just got to fix the lazy calculator at some stage, and I'm start tinkering maybe with benchtop options, but we're gonna think about that later. I hope you have a good day, and I'll see you again.